Hello guys, welcome to the Delivery Room podcast. The mic is on.
The room is sacred.
Let's talk. It's your girl Olivia here.
And it's your girl Claudia.
And we are delighted to have you guys with us here again
for another episode.
Yeah, this will be,
I think our third or fourth. Losing count now already.
Too many.
Thank you to those coming back.
We appreciate you guys.
We hope that our episodes have been, entertaining enough, educated enough for you guys.
And we've got many more exciting stuff coming up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But today we are going to talk to you guys about labor and birth. I feel like this is a topic many of you have been, awaiting.
It's another broad subject. I feel like everything in midwifery, there's always a way to dig deeper. It's never just a standard, simple,
superficial.
Nothing is simple in midwifery. There's always a hole to go down, and you will continuously go down. And as people keep giving birth and having babies, the hole will never be filled.
Yes, so, and we hope you never stop giving birth.
Yes, and we're both blonde today.
Oh yeah, guys, we're matching. We're what? Blonde Barbies, podcast Barbies.
Yeah, at this point.
Blonde and pink.
So labor and birth. As a midwife, what would be your preferred way of delivering? What from the minute you start labor? So how would you like it to go in the simplest way possible?
I want to not know I'm in labor. I don't want to feel a thing, but obviously I'm going to say I think I would want mine to be at home as long as I can be, using a bath and massages. My partner better be good at those massages because I'm gonna need it.
The back massages.
That TENS machine. Yeah. I think I want to do as much at home as possible. Might even give you a call. Be like, Claudia, come and check me.
That's my plan. That's my plan, honestly.
No, but I want to stay at home as much as possible. And then I want to go into my birth center because, I need to be near the hospital, the anxieties. And I want them to be like, oh, you're 8 centimeters dilated, you're 9 centimeters. And then I just want to breathe that baby out. Zen.
That would be everyone's.
That is my dream though. But I think ideally I just want to do as much as I can at home. And then, because I feel like hospital environment will make me a bit tense.
Yeah.
So if I do as much as I can at home and then go and then just have my baby and then go home 6 hours after, that would be my dream. Yes. Well, what is yours?
Quite similar to yours actually. Yeah. I would like to stay at home. As I said that my partner would have I'd literally have to be almost dragging his eyes out for him to take me to hospital. I've always said it, if I say take me to hospital, don't take me seriously until I'm until I'm I think the baby's coming. I definitely want to stay at home as long as possible.
Yeah.
The body adjusts to its environment.
Exactly.
And I feel at home is where you're most relaxed. Relaxing equals hormones. Hormones equals oxytocin. And then that means contraction.
And baby.
So I'd like to stay at home. You know what? It sounds crazy, but I'd love to be an accidental BBA. I can't lie.
I feel I see you doing it, and I feel like you're gonna do it on purpose.
Yeah, but on purpose, but by accident. I genuinely want it to be an accidental BBA. So BBA is born before arrival. So it's basically an unplanned home birth or car birth or street birth. Wherever you give birth.
Oh, child, you're leaving that child in the streets already.
Wherever you give birth, that's not at the hospital that you haven't planned, because you can have planned home births, is a BBA. I think I want to be an accidental BBA, but if not that, I'd like to come in birth center, they come in and they tell me anything. I'll take anything above 6 centimeters. If I'm anything under 6, I'm going home. I will self-discharge.
Really? Oh, man. I'm going to have to pack a bag and sit behind your door with your husband. Be like, this girl.
She got to go.
This girl.
No, because honestly, I would love it. To come in, anything over 6 centimeters, come in, go into the birth center and just deliver in the water. I'd love
I knew you were going to say water.
I just love it.
Get in the pool.
Yeah.
I hear it. Play your gospel music in the back. And
but most importantly, I'd have an open mind.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because
most
as we
importantly, I'd have an open mind. I think I'd obviously do whatever is necessary to keep me and baby safe.
But yeah,
okay.
I feel like pretty similar.
Yeah.
Except the accidental BBA. I want that one. I don't want that. Right. But yeah, staying home as much as possible. But yeah, so should we kind of dive into the stages of labour?
So I think labour looks different for everybody.
Agreed.
I think we need to, women, we need to come to an understanding that labour, birth, it's different for everybody. Your labour is not going to be the same as your sisters. Definitely, or your mothers, or your cousins, or your friend. It's going to be your individual labour and birth process and story. I think before we dive in, I think we should touch a little bit on, I think, how dangerous social media might be becoming when it comes to labour and birth.
The idea of labour and birth.
There's a community. I don't know what's, I'd say I feel like there's a certain community of women on TikTok who like to simplify the process of labour and birth too much, to the point where it's becoming dangerous, that women are listening to this and not considering important factors, and they're becoming so close-minded to this simplified idea of just breathing the baby out. I call them a community because I don't know what else to call them, but there's a certain kind demographic of people who are coming on TikTok and selling dangerous ideas of what labour and birth is. And I can tell you as a midwife that it's just not that simple.
No one comes and breathes a baby out.
But do you know what? You get the odd occasion of people who come in and just do it. But
and usually those are women that have had multiple babies before. So I think, like you said, as a first-time mum, if this is your first pregnancy, your first baby, and you come in with that idea because someone on TikTok told you, you know, if you breathe a certain way, the baby's gonna come out. It is dangerous, because then anything outside of that is almost traumatizing to you,
and
because you didn't get what you wanted and you were so set on it, and you tend to think, oh, but I did everything they said, and
and it appears, I feel like it creates a distrust between us professionals, health professionals, and our patients. Don't get me wrong, some births can generally just be traumatic, and sometimes things do just go the other way, and no one's at fault. Babies do things inside the womb that we don't expect them to do sometimes women start to get unwell when we expect them not to, and it leads into emergency procedures and things like that. But I think it's dangerous when women are not acknowledging that can happen, and it's not happening because it's your fault or our fault, or it's happening because baby's done something, baby's done a poo, for example, baby's not coping, baby's distressed in labour, and we can't control that. It's just something you can't control. And I just feel like there is that, I feel like it's getting a little bit dangerous. And obviously there's certain health factors and risk factors that you have to consider. That has to be considered to an individual woman. And it might be the reason why we may suggest delivering in a certain way, or, 100%. Have a tweak in your birth plan a little bit, maybe.
All of these things are obviously not taken into account when these women are coming out there to say these things. Because sometimes they don't know. Because like Claudia said earlier, everyone's journey experience is different. So because they didn't have that, they're not speaking of it, doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to get it. That's a really good point.
And it's not considered, because like I said, every labour and birth and pregnancy is individualised. No one's pregnancy is the same. So it's almost dangerous when they're generalising and like cooping labour, pregnancy and birth into to be one simple thing, and it's just not that simple. all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing for everyone to take with you. Every woman, pregnant woman, you want to be pregnant, or just a girl in general, because I feel like most of us,
trying to conceive.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I think you need to just always remember that your journey is your journey. It's very much you. Like, what's happening to you is not happening to anyone else. So you need to really consider that your things that you may be offered, the treatment, your path is different, and it's good to just kind of like embody your path almost, like just take it on board and that this is my path, this is what's gonna happen. Don't try and, like Koja said, compare it to your mum because your mum had it easy, she did this. Like, it's very different. So it's very good to kind of stand and feel confident in your journey rather than trying to compare, you know. And what did they say? Comparison is the thief of joy. So
you don't want to
very much try to stay just focused on you and your baby. Healthy baby, healthy mum. That's the end goal.
Yeah. And just because you said Mother's Day, I feel like, although I speak about social media, there's also that concept. There's also that family members as well.
Yeah.
Mums. You know, some mums are just they're overprotective. They're overbearing because that's just them. And sometimes I feel like we do get mums in labour rooms that are 100%. Pushing how they delivered onto their daughter. Like, well, I did it like this, so she can do it like this. But it's like, you're not understanding that at the time when you delivered, like, medicine has progressed, researches have been done, you know, new policies and new experiments and things. Yeah, we know more. You know, a lot of the time, well, depending on how old you are, obviously a lot of our parents obviously gave birth in a very different time. You know, if you ask your mum, like, oh, how was I delivered? Like, they don't go in. You realize my mum doesn't go into detail. Like, when I asked her, like, how my little brother was delivered, she was like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know, like, he was coming and then something happened. I can't remember. But then loads of people rushed in and then he was out. But I'm like, that could have been anything. They could have put a Kiwi cup on.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't know.
They don't know. Like, medicine has improved. Like, researches have been done to, you know, obviously try and make
things better
and safer, and obviously bring down, you know, mortality rates as well. So it's like, yeah, your mum might have been able to do it without an epidural, and, you know, might have been able, I feel like this is a big controversy, maybe able to deliver the breech baby vaginally.
Breech is a big topic,
but that just might not be a safe thing to do today.
It's true. And also, sorry, I know we're not talking about breech, but there's so many types of breaches that I think people are not aware of. When we say breech, you just think, oh yeah, the baby's turned the other way, you know, but there's so many different types of breech that your baby could potentially be in. And some could potentially be safe to deliver, but there's some that are really dangerous. Yeah. And I think women get really upset and always compared to their mums and their aunties and, they were doing it 20 years ago, but they didn't know about these. They didn't really have scans like that. Yeah. So everything comes from somewhere. Like, their research has been done, we know.
And sometimes breech deliveries can be absolutely safe. Bottoms presenting. But sometimes they can be absolutely safe, and that's absolutely fine. I'm all for vaginal delivery, no matter how, as long as it's safe, essentially. And one thing we need to also remember, that alongside with medicine improving, is that the death rates in pregnancy and birth were way much back in the day. So it's like, yeah, you can say, yeah, you know, we delivered breech babies and we did this without this medication, and, you know, but let's think about how many babies were dying back in those times where our parents were having babies, and even before then, compared to now. The rates have reduced because there's research, there's medicine. Do you know what I mean? So there's that.
Very good topic. Yeah. So definitely. I think if you have been given your way, then just focus on that and just embrace it, and how you can make that to, I guess, more into your birth preference. Yeah. Rather than trying to change the whole thing to someone else's. Yeah. But right. So the stages of labour.
We've got stages of labour.
There are 3 essentially.
3. So first stage, second stage, and third stage.
Right. what we call a latent phase. And I feel like loads of people, a latent phase can last forever. Well, not forever, but you know,
it can go.
It can last a week or even 2 weeks, and I think that's the misconception sometimes. You know, women can have Braxton Hicks, and sometimes you know it's painful. And because you've been having that for over a week, they're like, surely I should have had baby by now. Braxton Hicks can last ages.
And it starts quite early on as well, Braxton Hicks. It can start you off from about 36 weeks or even earlier.
Right.
Just
so
depends.
Can potentially have a month of Braxton Hicks. But we don't class active labour until 4 centimetres.
So speaking about latent phase, I call it the preparation of the cervix stage.
Yeah.
Because before your cervix even begins to dilate, I think, do a lot of people know this?
I don't think
before
they
your
do.
cervix, I think people just think your cervix starts to open
as
and
soon
once
as you
it's 1
contract,
centimetre, yeah, that's it. But there's actually a whole lot that has to go on before your cervix even starts to dilate. So your cervix starts off very thick, very rigid, closed. I describe it like this. You know when I think of a closed cervix? I immediately do this. I'm like, I think about how that's how it is. It's literally like I literally like this every time I think about a closed cervix. It's like it's closed, it's not budging. It's literally rigid,
and it's also what we call posterior, so it's far back. And yeah, people don't know about these things, but your body has to bring it forward. It has to loosen up. It has to soften up and shorten.
Then out.
It takes work.
Then it starts to dilate.
And I always say to my women, dilation is the easiest part of this whole process.
It's the preparation of the cervix. And this is why even when induction of labor. So even in the induction of labor, when we do, because that's the most of the time. So when you feel like a posterior closed cervix, I feel like it's usually if you're doing a sweep or if you're doing an induction.
Yeah.
Because by the time you get into the active labor, they're always about, like we said, 4 centimeters or more. So when we feel closed cervixes and cervixes that are just not ready yet, it's usually during induction processes or if we're given a sweep. So whenever we get a lady, like a lot of women come in and they're like, they were 1 centimeter and then they come back, let's say they had a sweep and then they come back for another sweep, I don't know, 3 days later and they're like, and then I'm like 1 centimeter and they're like, oh, but I was 1 centimeter 3 days ago. But it's like, listen, if I'm saying your cervix is softer, your cervix is thinned out, like that's progression.
Yeah. And
that is actually progression. It's not just about the dilation. That, like you said, that's literally the easiest bit. If your cervix could be 4 centimeters thick, long, still posterior, we ain't done much.
I don't
just because you're 4
centimeters. So I don't even know if your cervix can get to 4.
Well, I mean, multiples Oz.
Fair enough. You can have a stretch.
You can kind of stretch it to like a 4, but it can still be, like I said, thick, long, posterior, rigid. Like,
if that work is not done, it's not gonna get anywhere. It's like, this is gonna sound so bad, but like, you know when you're cooking meat, if, for example, if you're gonna fry chicken or something, you know, you boil it before and stuff when you're making, like, if that is not done, you're gonna struggle to make sure it's cooked. So
a good one's like oxtail.
I was thinking goat meat, but oxtail does it.
Is that oxtail? If you don't burn the boil the oxtail properly before, and then you start to try and eat it, how hard it's gonna be, and it's not enjoyable. It's the same thing. That's actually such a good like comparison. Like if your cervix isn't nice and soft and stretchy, if that tender, boiling, that
work preparation hasn't been done,
the dilation is So it
is like that.
I think so.
Yes, a lot to. I feel like you guys have to not have. It comes back to education, really. Yeah, like knowing that your body has to do that work and giving your body that grace as well. Because when you are stressed about, oh, but I was 3 days ago when they did the sweep and I'm still 1, and it's like now you're putting additional pressure on your body, and your body in stress doesn't cope very well because you need your body to be relaxed. You need that love hormone to be released for these things to happen. So that partners be extra lovey-dovey during that time as well, because they need to feel the oxytocin.
Extra lovey would help. They don't know about it. Extra lovey-dovey, guys. Helps, okay?
No,
Extra.
Just be a little bit nicer, okay? But it helps. Like, it really does help. That it
really
allows
extra
the body
lovey releases prostaglandins.
Why do you keep saying extra lovey?
I want them to understand. Extra lovey releases prostaglandins that can help soften the cervix.
It's true, but yeah, it does help. So you know, be kind to your women.
Yes, be
treat
soft
them
to
like
them during
queens.
that time. Yes,
but so that stage can last a long time, and we do sweeps as well. So, you know, you might be offered a sweep when you're after your 37 weeks. Sometimes 38 weeks, we might offer you a sweep, and then we do them every 3 days. Every trust is obviously different. Every hospital
and every care is individualized, guys. Yes. So, you know, a sweep for someone else might start at 37 weeks because they might have a planned induction, or, you know, there's a certain plan in place made by the doctors. But for others, that might be a little bit too early for you.
It might be 39.
So it might be 39 or 40 weeks for you. So just
everything, like we've been saying along, is very individualized in pregnancy. So two people don't wear the same shoes, basically. But so
that's like the latent phase.
It will take a while, but you have to be, you know,
patient with yourself and with your body,
especially
your body.
First
time moms, my prime mips. So prime mips are, did we say this last time?
I think we did.
We'll remind you. Prime mips are women that haven't had a baby before, so we call them our prime mips. So our prime mips, guys, please give yourself some love, give yourself some time, because it's not gonna be easy. Your body's literally doing something it's never done before, so it's a lot of preparation. Like carrying the baby you've done, but there's a whole new process that your body needs to take you through. So give yourself a little bit of grace, and a little bit of time as well. So we'll say that
pretty much is the latent phase.
And
things
the early
you can
labor
do to help yourself in the latent phase to get to the active.
Stay active.
Stay active.
I mean, I think there's obviously, again, everything works differently for everyone, but I think the only thing that's actually properly scientifically proven is dates. I mean, we do hear about like raspberry leaf tea, okra water.
Good luck to you guys that have been drinking that one.
I don't know about that. Like I said, nothing but dates is actually scientifically proven. I just recommend staying active.
But sometimes it's is it mind over matter? I think sometimes when you believe something, what's that called? Placebo effect. When like you believe mentally,
working, so that's works. Actually a good point. Like before you even physically begin labor, you need to actually mentally prepare yourself. I feel like, again, like, sorry, but going back to that demographic and that community of people, I feel like sometimes there's people, I'm gonna say TikTok, you know, because TikTok I've seen a lot of things on TikTok that have ticked me off. Like I've seen a lot of things on TikTok that have genuinely ticked me off. Like I see so many untrue and dangerous factors, and it's annoying. I feel like a lot of people like TikTok, I'm gonna say TikTok teachers, TikTok midwives like to eliminate pain. Like they try to tell people that like you're not going to be in pain. You're going to be in pain. You are literally how you manage it is where it comes, where your individualized birth plan comes in. Pain relief, like hypnobirthing. That's where you can pick what you're going to do. Yeah. But whatever you do, you're going to be in pain. There's going to be in pain. Contractions are painful, and you need contractions to have your baby. So don't go in and think, because I'm hypnobirthing or because I'm going to have pain relief. Well, epidural, I don't know what the actual percentage is for epidurals that don't actually work, but sometimes epidurals don't work. But obviously epidurals are only like effective pain relief that can genuinely not take away the feeling of contractions most of the time. However, if you're planning to, go in natural and not have epidural, or just go in with bassinet or hypnobirthing, which is an amazing way to deliver, by the way, you are still going to be in pain.
pain is
it's unavoidable. How you deal with the pain mentally and what you choose to have, like I said, pain relief and things like that, it's what's going to make your labor your experience. However, like, and guys, stop telling people they're not going to be in pain. Stop it, because they are.
They are.
At the end of the day,
you are quite literally pushing a human and
out.
Babies, they look cute and tiny when they're coming out, but when you're pushing them, they're not tiny and cute. Like, I feel like you're right. People forget that part. No, you are pushing a human. You will be in pain regardless. And if you're not in pain,
you're special. Honestly, give me some of that or whatever you got.
God put you on a different list.
But
but you will be in pain.
Everyone's pain tolerance is different. It's not always going to feel the same. Like, you get women who are like, and then like last minute they're like, ooh, and then the baby's out. Everyone's different, and you get women who are screaming from the beginning. People who are in pain from the start all the way to the end.
Pain is inevitable.
It's inevitable, and it feels. I can say it feels different for everybody.
100%.
But the pain is still going to be present.
Yeah. So definitely mentally prepare yourself for that pain. Yes. But like Claudia said, it's how you deal with it.
Yeah, really. It's how you deal with it is what individualizizes your
100%.
Birth plan.
Yeah, 100%.
And will help you carry it out.
100%.
Speaking about birth plans,
yes,
can we?
With my bulletproof birth plan.
Birth plan. Let's talk a little bit. There's birth plans. I love birth plans. Don't get me wrong. Do you know why I love birth plans? Because birth plans shows me that you've done your reading, your research, which I love. I love my woman to come to me and labour with knowing that they know stuff. They know what can happen, what can potentially happen, and they know their options. That always helps with birth plans.
Yeah.
But we get birth plans sometimes that are not necessarily open, I'd say.
Yeah.
We get very closed birth plans sometimes.
And I think sometimes that is, I don't want to say where you go wrong, but I feel like that can be a factor to making yourself very upset in case of anything. I think when you have a birth plan that is very this, that, like, I think we even touched on this last episode as well. And it's like, when you have, I want it like this way and I want to be like this and I don't want this. And then your baby
good. You're putting your foot.
It's good, yeah.
But you have to be ready.
If you're not open to anything at all and your baby decides, nah, I'm not doing this today. Like, you have to be open, because at the end of the day, we are prioritizing the safety of yourself and your child. If you are not open to that, then I think when it comes to a situation, for example, maybe you're pushing, but baby's not tolerating it very well, so you need a helping hand. We need to put an instrument, and you're very against it. I think that's where sometimes you see situations where I'm literally standing there and I'm
praying.
I'm praying in my head. I'm like, God, please, because I can see baby's not happy, but you have told yourself one thing and you're not quite ready yet to kind of accept
that it might
the helping hand.
Way.
And I think sometimes that's where we can do ourselves a bit of a disservice. So I think having a birth plan is amazing, and have one, definitely. But also have that, like, to just be a little bit open to the fact that sometimes babies can do stuff that we have no control over, or our bodies can react in a certain way to certain things that we don't have control over. That might mean you need to divert a little bit from your birth plan. Maybe have a backup birth plan. If plan A doesn't go to plan, then I have plan B. Just to kind of help yourself.
So it's always good to have a birth plan for your labour and delivery. So there's first stage. So first stage, and then we have our second stage of labour, which is active labour. Well,
we call it the active stage,
but then it was also push. Well, I'd say
I feel like
first stage,
different stages in active stage. I feel
within
like
second
phase,
stage,
active phase, but then there's
1,
2, and 3.
So
the active stage.
So we say active labour. Well, in our trust, we say it from 4 centimeters onwards. We'd say active labour, but I have my doubts on that. I feel like you can be 4 centimeters but not contracting regularly.
I've actually come across people.
I feel like active labour is if you're contracting regularly, regardless. That's my opinion. I think if you're contracting regularly strong, and you're progressing,
That's
I think
active.
to me that's active labor, because what are we really doing here?
Yeah. Because on really and truly, once you start,
I don't think it should be
regular contractions. That's it, really.
Yeah, I don't think it should be defined by a centimeter. I don't really agree with that.
Because how many times do we have someone that's 2 centimeters
and
by their contraction, and then in 5 minutes they're delivering, and now we're running down the hallway trying to get them.
Yeah, I don't agree with. Personally, I don't agree with the labeling or labeling of like, okay, if you're 4, that means you're in active labor. Because like I said, we get like multiple odds all the time that can be stretched to 4. So what? Because she's 4. But she's contracting 1 in 10 minutes. Is that really active labor?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it should be defined.
And then that's how sometimes we get unnecessary interventions.
Yeah.
Because you're 4, but you're not doing anything.
So you're not doing anything.
To make you do something.
So but it's like, and then sometimes if baby's happy and mum's happy, I feel like it's okay to just let things go.
It's hard sometimes. I feel like as midwife, obviously you hear all these things that you knew before I did midwifery, and now obviously I know the science and the anatomy and the knowledge behind it. So I feel like sometimes there should be a middle ground for this, but I feel like sometimes it's difficult because it's either A or B. But you feel like
and it's either 8.5. It could be 8.5, B.5. It's just not simple. It's like with induction, like it's like you could be offered an induction, but then sometimes women ask you, okay, but what happens if I don't get induced or what? But it's like, I can't tell you. Like, you could have an induction and, you know, we've saved you and baby from something potentially happening, but we'll never know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like whatever path you go down, you never know
we will never know. I feel like induction is a preventative procedure.
100%.
It's not saying you need to have an induction because if you don't, like something so and so will happen. It's more so, listen, we've identified this risk in your pregnancy. We're offering you a preventative process to try and get this baby out a little bit quicker to avoid this happening.
Yeah. And I think
so like, for example, I think what I feel like maybe a lot of people might be able to relate to is like post-dates. So if you are now overdue, you've gone over 41 weeks. So in our trust, it's about 41 plus. Is it 41 weeks exactly now? It used to be 41 plus 5, I think.
Now it's 41 weeks.
Yeah,
because
they don't.
I think
because by the time
science behind it is that induction takes days. So by the time you've done your induction and you can then reach, then you are
42 weeks. So it's like, yes, I could leave you for a week and your baby could come absolutely happily, but then I could leave you a week and you could have stillborn because your placenta stopped working the very next day. It's so hard.
It's hard
to tell. Like, there's such a big conversation around induction, and it's hard to give accurate answers because it's preventative. Like, you just never know. You don't know. I can't tell you.
No matter
if you don't get this induction, your baby's not gonna pass away, God forbid. But
you just never know.
Yeah.
And there's not really much we can do to know. Yes, we can scan you today, but you leave here after 20 minutes, something can happen then. And I think, it's such a big topic, and the research behind it is so broad, but at the same time, like you said, it's just about juggling our risk really and seeing like what outweighs what. This is why it's also always good to have your own research as well, because yes, we have our reasons, but have your own knowledge behind that as well,
and to make an informed decision.
So pushing.
So I think we start. So I'd say it's from second stage. I'd say like from contracting really to then like actually having baby. But I got a question for you about labor and birth. What do you think? So in the labor room, I'd say in the labor room, what do you think might be like an unpopular opinion for you, like in the labor room? Like, what's your unpopular opinion
in the labor room? And this could be anything.
Anything in the like. What's your unpopular opinion?
On the spot. I'm just trying to think. What is an unpopular opinion? I don't know. I feel like it depends on what stage I'm at.
Any stage in labor, literally any stage in it. What's your most to do with anything? Like, what's your unpopular opinion?
You know, some people think they should have their mothers there with them. I love you, mommy, but no. I don't know. I feel like I'll be very irritable in labor. I feel like I can get irritated quite quickly. So even my partner, that whoever that ends up being, like, I need to see, because some people are just a bit, you know. So my unpopular opinion, you don't need to have the whole world there with you. You don't need your cousin, your mother-in-law, all of that. No, we don't need that with you.
At all, by the way.
At all.
Even afterwards. But
I don't know how some people eat proper food in labour.
Well, really and truly, well, not really meant. Like, that's not even an unpopular opinion. Ladies, don't be coming in labour and eating
jollof rice,
with McDonald's. It's only gonna harm you in the end. Like, the amount of things that your body goes through, the things that are occurring in the stomach. You're having a heavy meal like McDonald's.
In there,
I can't even imagine. Like, imagine feeling contracting and then you've eaten all that dry foods, guys. Best way to go. Come with your crackers, your biscuits, just nuts, like granola bars, you know, electrolytes, you know, just
all of that stuff. Just keep you hydrated, and energized. But you don't need that. What is yours? I'm intrigued because I had to really think about that one.
Do you know what? Mine was bouncing off of your one. Do you know what my unpopular opinion is? And I think it actually might be very unpopular. Is that I don't think that the person that you've had a baby with has to be your birth partner.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Listen, you can love your husband, your partner, your wife. You can love them, but sometimes they're not the best people. Some people don't do well under pressure. They don't do well.
And it's not to say they're bad people, by the way. Let me just make that clear. It's not to say because they're bad or terrible people. Like, for example, like, if your husband's very queasy, I just don't think that's the best person to have with you, because there's vomiting, there's fluid, the amount of fluids that are everywhere, you know, even like delivering babies, like, there's liquid, there's fluids everywhere, there's some stuff, okay?
There will be a lot
and
of things,
if you're queasy, I don't think that is the best place for you to be. And you know what I find so annoying is that I feel like it's always the queasy ones that want to be like, no, can you wait right there? Can you actually get behind?
And they're like, what's happening? You sit down, please.
Because I remember, I will never forget this one time.
No, I need to know how you're laughing.
I had a lady and I was putting a cannula in. And when I say her partner, white as a sheet.
Oh, baby.
What? Just putting a cannula in. I think, how are we going to we're not even anywhere yet.
This is just step 1 out of 59. Thank you.
Where are we going? And I'm just like, I'm like, I don't need 2 patients.
I've
really got one.
Situation. I've had a partner pass out before.
I've never had that yet.
I've had one pass out before. Really? I've had him twice before. And the way it happened, it was, so we've delivered. So he was good during the time of delivery, because I think he didn't look. And he wanted to cut the cord, but he wanted to come around. So he's gone around the bed, and obviously he's seen some stuff. And he's cut the cord now, and then blood comes. And mum's holding the baby, and I just see the man doing this, wobbling. And I was like, do you feel okay? And he was like, I think I'm going to... And he just went back. I don't know why I tried to catch him. I'm never doing that again. I do not have the strength.
Why would you even try and catch him?
Because he was like, so I was like, okay, let me just try and get his head. And he just dropped. And then I had a student that got a chair and we managed. But I was like, excuse me, sir.
It's not about you right now.
It's not about, one thing about men, they try to take the moment. It's
not about you right now.
I've literally passed out.
I've had one almost pass out, but honestly, it wasn't his fault, and it wasn't because he was queasy. It was he was diabetic, and women are so strong. By the way, women are so strong, because this lady was quite literally close to delivering, right? And she was literally like, when I say like she was close to delivering, anyway, her husband had gone home, so things were obviously progressing quickly. So she had called him to come back, saying like, the baby's coming. And I think because she was contracting, the way she sounded on the phone, I think it panicked him. So he obviously like drove really fast, and he was like panicking. So he had like ran all the way. Like, he looked like he'd ran all the way. Damn. And he came in and he was like, and like, you know, and he came, and obviously like she's screaming in pain. So like he's getting overwhelmed, and then he just like started like stumbling. And then I'm like, are you okay? Like, I'm trying to like get him to like sit down. And then this lady, by the way, in the middle of contracting, right? She's contracting. She's like, he's diabetic. I've got some bread in my bag. I've got some, like, she was,
that's so cute.
I was like, women are so, like, that, I was like, I know women are strong because I see them do, like, amazing things all the time. But I was like, for her to be in so much pain, literally about to have a baby, and she's still got in her head, right, my husband's diabetic, like, this is what I need to do if, you know, he's hypo, basically, because that's what he was, essentially. And yeah, and like, we gave him the bread, and he had the bread, and he was sitting down, and then he eventually, like, felt okay. But honestly, I just
Isn't
thought,
that love?
like, I just thought if it was swaps, that man wouldn't have.
Of course. And can I just say, going off that as well, I see so many women come in labor. They're tired. They're in pain. And they'll be like, babe, have you eaten? Babe, order yourself some food.
Like,
babe, do you want to go home and have
woman,
and I'm like,
a woman cannot be
honestly
replaced.
I don't know what the world will be without women, because sorry, but men, we love you, but y'all are useless.
Y'all be useless sometimes,
because she will be in so much pain, and she's thinking about, have you eaten? Oh, why don't you go rest for a little bit? And I'm like, wow, like, he's even literally sitting there doing nothing. You're here contracting every 2 minutes and still have time to think, has he eaten? Why don't you do this? That is insane. Women, we are amazing. Honestly, God did his big one with us.
Yes, he really did. I mean, he gave us big responsibility that some I'd like to argue, but you know,
negotiate some terms and conditions.
For the majority of it, God really did his big one. With women.
Because
he really did.
The strength of a woman is, I don't even think men, like, obviously they have their own strength, but I just think the things we do, I don't think a man could last a day, not even 2 hours
even
in there. But
so we have
pushing stages can be obviously exhausting. We give up till about an hour
usually,
with pushing, and an hour sounds long, and it is long. It comes around quite quickly in the moment, but it is long. And when you're pushing, it's not as straightforward as push the baby out. Like, a woman, baby has to go through the birth canal, and a woman's pelvis, the way it's shaped, it's tilted, and there's a bone the baby have to go past. So I always say to my ladies, like, when we're pushing, we have to get past this pubic bone, because when you push, I always do this. Your baby is rocking, is literally rocking, because it goes past that bone. When you stop pushing, it slowly comes back. So until we are past that little arch, that's when that's when that baby is quite literally just coming. So I always, like, women, some women think, you know, I just need to do a few strong pushes and my baby's gonna come out, but you have to bear in mind that it's the anatomy of the baby is coming down from your pelvis, and it has to go through a bend. So always keep in mind that is the longest part of pushing, I would say.
And also, like I said, like we say, everything is individualized. So 100%. The shape and the diameter of your pelvis might not necessarily mesh with how big your baby is, for example, because some women do grow bigger babies than others. So some women do have to work a little bit harder to, you know, push babies out. The smaller babies, let me not lie, the smaller babies can be breathed out. Let me not lie. Some of the smaller babies just be coming. Just small
babies, especially if your pelvis is quite wide.
Or if you're preterm, you know, it's different. Like
preterm babies come out.
You can literally cough a couple of times, probably.
I have had someone, they come to me 1 centimeter preterm contracting and had a baby in 20 minutes.
And like, you know, preterm, like, I feel like with full-term babies, there's head, and then preterm baby just they just come out all at once. They don't even give you enough
catch
time.
Me if you can.
Literally, they literally catch me if you can. Like, preterm just be.
They just be like, doing their own thing.
Yeah,
they're
just
like,
be like,
here.
Yeah, I'm here. Like, they don't even give you a chance,
no.
By the way. But yeah, like we said, like, everyone is individualized. So, you know, pushing is definitely
I feel like it's the easiest stage, but it's the hardest stage at the same time. It's easy because you know that you're so close, you're so near, your child is coming. I feel like loads of women get so much adrenaline in that time because they know that the end is near. Like, it's that last stretch at the end of that marathon. You're like, I just need to go. But it's hard as well because it's exhausting. And time after time, I've seen women tireless. Like, you know, you can just see that they just need they just need resting to sleep. But
and like we said, they might have like bigger babies than others. So during pushing, like, some babies don't always move down the pelvic, the canal as like much as we'd like them to, which then does lead to like having to have potential in instrumental deliveries
or just intervention
in general. But I'm a big believer of like letting my woman try
100%
as long as possible. I think as long as baby and mum's safe. Like, I don't agree with a lot of limits. Like, I don't agree with a lot of time limits. I know that time limits, again, I think is like a lot of things are preventative in medicine, which has to be because, you know, we can't see the future. So, you know, we can't say, okay, but this is going to happen, which is why we have preventative procedures in the first place. I don't know about the 1 hour for pushing. I feel like as long as baby's safe, looks okay, and mum's okay, I feel like I think the woman should be able to say, okay,
and I agree with that.
I now think I want an intervention. Like I said, if baby's unsafe, I agree, let's offer intervention. And again, entirely the woman's choice, of course, as always. However, I feel like if the trace is okay, baby's heart rate's okay, and there's no signs of baby being distressed, and there's no signs of mum getting distressed, and mum still feels like she has enough energy to continue, I'm like, what's the harm?
Yeah. And I agree with that. I genuinely do not think as well that there should be a time limit. I think also when you put a time limit on something, I feel like then there's this pressure, and then I feel like they feel like if they haven't done it in that time, they're automatically disheartened. But actually, you could be so close that you need another 10-20 minutes to do it. So I agree with you on that point. Yeah. I think as long as all the factors, everything looks good, it's safe to do so, I think we should be able to go ahead. Yeah. Obviously, the moment you see that something's wrong, then we can 100%. Revisit the conversation of intervention. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but once you do that hard work and you push and your baby comes out,
it's all worth it.
It's also
I never get over. I mean, everyone always says, like, don't you ever like get bored of that baby? But I'm telling you, like, I kid you not when I say every birth is different. Like, it's not the same. I still get that butterflies when the baby comes out. I still get it.
And sorry, when the partners cry.
Yeah, I still get it.
Like, don't make me
honestly, I still get the butterflies when I see the babies coming out.
I don't think I will ever get.
I will never get over that feeling. Like, you never get used. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're used to it." Like, you see so many babies.
No,
you never do.
And also,
every woman's story is different. That's so beautiful. Like, some people have been trying to conceive for X amount of time. You know, some people have been longing to have a baby for how long. So, like, every story is different. So when you see the baby come, and it then, especially when you know their story, obviously not everyone shares, of course, journey. But yeah, and just knowing that you completed it, yes, do you know what I mean?
We got this baby.
It never does feel
like, I think there's definitely some women I've looked after that I'll never forget because of their journey, because of their stories. Yeah, and you almost feel like, oh my God, like, it resonates with you, and you're just like, wow, like really, like it does not get old. I don't think it will never get old for me.
It will never. Whenever I see a baby come out, I'm like,
that first moment when they're all like in disbelief and they're crying, I'm like, hey.
Yeah, even though you only have about 5 seconds before you have to
make sure you're not
bleeding over there, nothing's trickling. But yeah, it's an amazing time. And then we have that so funny. Third stage is, I always see people so shocked about having to deliver a placenta.
Right.
A lot of people do not know that after you deliver baby, it's not finished.
Placenta. Guys, your baby lives in the placenta, by the way. Yeah. That's the thing that feeds your child.
Yes.
Inside your womb. And it also has to come out.
All the nutrients, and
oxygen, and everything that it needs.
It also has to come out, guys.
Quite literally.
So, yeah. After you push out the baby,
that's your next delivery. But I always say, you've done the baby part.
Yeah, it's nothing like, compared to
this one. Is a big. It looks like a big steak.
Yeah, literally, and it comes out like.
Yeah, and like, have you ever had like partners that are always like, I didn't know it was that big.
Big, yeah. Can I see? Can I see?
You want to see, and then you're gonna faint.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, and obviously.
Yeah,
there's two ways to deliver. So we have physiological and we have active.
Yeah.
So active is basically when we give you an injection of either oxytocin. Well, it depends again. There's
on
oxytocin, there's symptometrin as well. Those are the two that are commonly used. Again, it depends like on your story,
your history, your journey, in
your history, and things like that.
How much you're bleeding in that moment as well is a factor. Yeah, and sometimes even how your labor and birth is a factor. Yeah. If you've been in labor for hours and hours, you are at a higher risk of bleeding out. So again, preventative thing that we would rather do, because I think we're very much rather safe than sorry.
Yes, that's such a good way to describe.
So much rather safe than sorry. Rather safe than sorry. Everything that we do, but that is the way. And I feel like sometimes in the moment loads of women agree to that, because I think once you've done the hard work of delivering that child, some women are like, I just want it out. I just want it over and done with.
I'd be like that. Honestly, jab me. As soon as the baby comes out, jab me.
Yeah.
Jab me. As soon as the baby comes out, jab me. I'm not even joking.
I forgot you to say that. You know that she hates needles.
So honestly, like as soon as my baby comes out, just jab me. Don't ask me for consent.
I will
just
be there to I will ask you for consent. Thank you very much.
Just jab me, because honestly, I'd sort it out. But yeah, it just essentially helps the uterus just contract and expel.
And it also helps with blood loss.
Yeah, blood loss. Help expel the
physiological stage.
Is just waiting.
So it's just allowing your body to expel the placenta by itself. Every
can take
up
to
different. We give up to an hour. Yeah. And sometimes I have had, you guys remember from that first episode, and I had retained placenta.
Yeah. So some people have to have it manually removed.
Yeah, because it doesn't
under
come
anesthesia,
out.
guys. No one just.
Yeah, because you have to.
They have to put their hands all the way into your womb.
What?
And take it out. Do you know what's so funny? People are gonna watch our episodes and be like, "Where's the woman with the book?" You know that on TikTok when everyone says, "Where's the woman with the list?" Where's the woman with the list? Yes, guys. No. Literally, they will have to put their hands up in your womb to literally manually remove it from the
But that's last result. That doesn't mean that if you do physiological, that will happen. Yeah. But
if your physiological doesn't work, we give the injection anyway.
That's the thing, And there's so many like breastfeeding in that time.
Yeah,
helps
that other thing that can help. Yeah,
try to sit you up. So there's so many things we do before. Not to scare ya.
Yeah,
but there is so many things we do before we get to that. Yeah. But essentially, that I feel like in a nutshell, that is labor and birth. Summarized, because there's so much we could say.
We have the suture.
But we're trying to
the other day on TikTok, Mama Dinya made a video about how we stick our fingers up mother's bums.
Oh yeah.
After delivering, the comments, people were gobbed, and I was like, people don't. It's so funny, like people don't know that.
Well, we can talk about suturing a little bit. That's also part of it. Yeah.
So
when you tear,
so tear, we have first degree, second degree, and third degree,
fourth degree.
I always forget there's actually a fourth degree. Yeah, we never want to see a fourth degree
or even a third.
In later videos we can talk about preparing. I mean, there's not too much that we can do. There's not a lot you can do to avoid a tear sometimes. Obviously, we do our bits as professionals and try to protect the...
reduce the risk.
I don't joke with my perineal protection, you know.
You that one's water bath.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying for my woman, I don't joke.
Like, you want a water bath, child.
I hold on to that perineal.
Warm swab, I'm there.
Like, see, that's the only... I know we're going to talk about students, Arthur, but that's the only bit that I get scared to allow. I find that bit very difficult to allow. I was trying to be nice, but I don't let them either.
I love you guys.
I was trying to be nice. I love my students.
There is a teaching moment for everything.
And there's anything else that I might let you do, but protecting the perineum, just allow me
I just feel like I have to do it. I will show you my technique. I will tell you how to. You can put your hand on top of mine, but essentially we can do it together, I'm doing
but
it.
Let my hand be there first. Because I'm not joking. Because do you know like how much damage can be done from
a tear, especially an extensive one that goes into your anus. it can cause. There's so much things that can come with it, and
so I don't.
One thing if I can do, I will stop that, or at least minimize the risk as much as possible. Because no.
Obviously, we do have episiotomies.
Yeah, but
do people know about
also
episiotomies? Is a cut.
Yeah. Go on.
A cut that we essentially give to the vagina to avoid a 3rd or 4th degree tear. Sometimes you can tell. Some people's perineum's a little bit tighter than others. Sometimes you can tell when someone, even if you do the best perineum protection in the world, some you can tell where the tear is going. So we rather give a cut, so you have a controlled cut, and then that way it prevents you from tearing down to your anus. And sometimes we do it to expedite delivery as well. If you feel like baby's head's been sitting there, and maybe baby's getting a little bit distressed.
To add to that, the cut is done a 90-degree angle from your anus. So the point of it is to prevent you tearing into your anus. So it's like we've almost kind of diverted the tear somewhere else, but still allowing that space for the baby to come. But it's a preventative thing that we will do, like you said. But and then after, when we're checking for the tears, I think that's such an underrated part of this whole process. Because I think once the baby's out, placenta's out, you're like, and then we're like, I'm done.
Now I'm gonna check you to see if you've teared. And they're like, what? But honestly, it's needed. You don't want to go home with a tear you don't know about. But we have to put our fingers up there, guys, because we need to feel whether you've teared, or we need to see whether the tear has actually gone through.
And that's,
trust me, it sounds egregious, but trust me, it's necessary. You want your midwife to do that.
You definitely do. And if they haven't done it, ask them why they haven't done it. Can you please check and make sure I haven't torn into my anus? Because
and we give you anesthesia.
Of course.
Let me say that, because actually I had a family friend that told me the other day that she was actually sutured without anesthesia. And she said because she didn't know that she was meant to have anesthesia, she just thought it was meant to help her that much.
Pain.
So we do.
That's really cruel. No, guys, we always have to give you some local anesthetic, and you should always ask as well. Will I be numb? Will I feel it? You know, because you shouldn't be able to feel it. You might feel the touching, but you shouldn't feel sharp pain. And I always say that to my women. And there's tests that we should do to make sure you don't feel that pain before
110%
before we start. But in a nutshell, or not to dive into it too much.
We've essentially, I think we just spoke about kind of a simplified dummy. I'd call it like a dummy version of labor in general. But we said, it's such a broad subject. You know, we have induction,
which we will get into in a different episode. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you've taken something back away from this. Comment any questions. Follow us on our Instagram and our TikTok. Feel free to DM us, comment. We're happy to answer any questions that you guys may have regarding this. Obviously we will do more videos on inductions and even the anatomy and stuff like that. So there is so much more to come, but this is just an intro to labour and birth.
And just wanted to make a disclaimer, guys. We do not give medical advice. So sorry, mummies, we love you, but please do not DM us anywhere with asking for any medical advice.
Speak to your midwife and your doctors.
Speak to your midwife if you have any concerns, and doctors and any healthcare professionals involved in your care. They will know a lot better, and they can give you the right advice as well. So we'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you for tuning into the Delivery Room podcast, and see you next time. Bye.